and welcome to your LSU football fix. I'm Preston Guy, staff writer at TigerBait.com. Happy Turkey Day, everybody. 2 days before Thanksgiving. It is my first Thanksgiving with the little guy. It's going to be an interesting one because, doctors nowadays, they're all, hey, the baby hadn't got all its vaccine. Don't, hey, look, don't be going to third grandma's, cousins, mama, sister, brother, all that. Just keep it intimate. So, of course, on the opposite side, you got your family beating on your door. Everybody wants to see the baby. They're all in from out of town. They're bringing all. Look, I don't know what, man. It's crazy in the Guy household. I hope it's crazy in your household. Do me a favor, everybody. I want to power rank your top 5 favorite Thanksgiving foods. Just kind of check in that throughout the episode. Have a little fun with it. Got Matt Miguez from Crunch Time with Mechie and Miguez on 103.7 The Game in Lafayette. He, of course, started his show earlier this year. They're doing a great job out there, so I figured he'd be a lot of fun to talk to. Oyster dressing, Christy Critter Gitter, go to jail. Go to jail. You're fired. No. All right, now here's a serious one. Crawfish pie. I don't know if that's really Thanksgiving food. That's kind of a cop-out one. I mean, yeah, look, I love me some crawfish pie, but is that a Thanksgiving food? Especially if it's a crawfish meat pie. That's 12 months a year, my guy. Turkey gumbo, I'll allow it. Fried turkey, okay, good. Smoked boudins, stuffed turkey breast, okay, that one counts too. That's a really good one. Got really creative there. Woo, guys, playoff committee has LSU at number 5. So we're gonna spend some time reacting to that and talk about what it means. I'll bring in Matt Miguez here in a bit. But first, while we're talking about Thanksgiving foods, I want to remind y'all of where you can go to get your Thanksgiving turkey, your turducken, your dressing, all those sides. You're a little behind the 8 ball right now, guys. Just pop in Tramonte's Meat and Seafood. You knew it the second that came out my mouth. Tramonte's is where to go. Right at the corner of Airline and Jefferson behind Parkview Baptist. Y'all pop in, check them out. They're going to be very busy this week, but they do have turkeys left. I think rotisserie and fried are the only 2 kinds he has left, but he still has some turduckens and plenty of sides in that freezer. It's all made with Southern love, just like we all like it for our Thanksgiving. So y'all make sure to check them out. Let's hear from them, and we will come right back to the show.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
And there it is, Tramontes.com. Y'all go check them out. All right, guys. Look, here's a good comment. Just give me a turducken, please. Yo, honestly, I'm more about the turducken than I am the turkey. I mean, you get the turkey with the turducken. It's just, and duck. Look, duck is strictly better than any turkey or chicken. So, I mean, it's good stuff. Let's talk about these playoff rankings, y'all. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. Number 4, TCU, as we all expected. All the undefeateds 1 through 4. At number 5, skipping over all of the other 1-loss teams, is 2-loss LSU. And guys, the playoff committee got it right. A lot of people thought USC might jump LSU having beat UCLA. However, it is a 3-point win, not a blowout. And it's their first ranked win, y'all. They've dodged Oregon in conference play. So, no quality win there. And let's see. No, they don't even play Washington. Looking at their schedule, they beat Washington State. No Washington. So, they've dodged all the good teams in an already weak Pac-12. Meanwhile, LSU beat Ole Miss, beat Alabama. We know how tough the rest of the SEC is, and they got 2 tough losses to 2 teams ranked in the top 16. Florida State's not an ugly loss anymore, y'all. Florida State's ranked number 16 in the country. So I'm happy to break this down. I'm gonna bring them on. Matt, you ready? Give me a thumbs up. You ready, man? Sometimes I catch you off guard. All right. So here's Matt Miguez with 1037 The Game. What's up, Matt?
Preston, what's going on, buddy? How are you, man?
Doing good, doing good. First, right off the bat, I need you to power rank your Thanksgiving foods. We're going to see if we can value your opinion on this show or not. Give me 1 through 5.
So this is like meat included or just side dishes?
Everything, dog. All of it.
Okay.
We're going, lead hitters, and we're going with,
coming out with a banger. Okay. Number 5.
Oh, you're gonna go to number 5. I feel like
I'm gonna go bottom to the top.
Oh, that's hard. Or unless you've been preparing for this like your entire life.
I'm always preparing for Thanksgiving, Preston. You know that. 5th, man, I'm gonna say a good mashed potatoes and gravy. Because and the reason I put it so low is because it's solid, right? But you get it 365 days a year.
Yeah, right. So it loses points. See, I was deducting some points. This guy was saying a crawfish pie. I was like, okay, is that really a Thanksgiving food though? But go ahead. What's number 4?
Number 4, deviled eggs.
Okay, no, that's a good one actually.
Deviled eggs. My wife hates them, but I mean that's fine. That's just more for me.
Have you tried getting a new wife?
Well, dude,
I mean, I know you just got her, but like,
I was about to say, I've only been married for 2 months, man. Don't do that.
Does the wedding venue accept refunds? You know what I mean? Like, can you take her back? Is there like a 60, 90-day return policy? You know what I mean?
Unfortunately not. They catch the deposit check quicker than we wrote it. But anyway.
Brutal.
3rd, I'm going to go cornbread dressing.
And that's my number 1.
Right. Cornbread dressing. It's really good, and don't get me wrong, like 1, 2, and 3 for me are all just kind of like 1A, 1B, 1C in actuality. 2nd, I'm gonna say green bean casserole.
Right.
It's just fantastic, and then you can never go wrong with a good ham. If you do it right, you pour the brown sugar and some pineapple on top of it, and man.
But what kind of ham are we talking about here? Like you heading to Logan Farms or where?
Man, you do it yourself.
Oh, you do it yourself.
Buy it from the freezer section and do
hold
it
up,
yourself.
Hold up. Did your wife make this for y'all?
Oh no. I make it.
Oh, I was gonna say your wife could redeem herself if she's the one doing it, but
I'm just kidding. My mom makes it.
Okay.
My mom does the ham. I just show up and eat, man.
There you go. All right, next question. Is Texas A&M a cult?
Yes. I mean, they hold midnight chant practices.
Yeah, and the cheerleaders look like Mario and Luigi joining a cult.
It's 100% a cult. It is creepy. It is unsettling, and I have family members by marriage that support Texas A&M.
All right, man, hold up. You're not giving a strong endorsement for your wife here tonight, my guy. Like, this is going off to a really bad start for Miss Miguez here.
Oh, man. And yeah, I've got family members now that support Texas A&M, and I'm just... There's nothing better than beating them, man. Nothing better.
Well, LSU does that quite a bit. I look at this A&M game, and to me, it's a little scary because it does have the trap game framework to it. First off, this is A&M's bowl game. This is their everything. I mean, they're not going to a bowl game. This is their final showing. They hate LSU. They want to show out. They've got a 5-star quarterback, Connor Wegman, who hadn't been, he hadn't won games, but he's got the numbers. He's got 6 touchdowns, 0 picks, struggled with completion percentage, but he's got the talent. That running back, Devon Achane, he's a beast. Yeah. Man, are you worried about the trap game? I'm not. I'm just giving the framework. I'm really not, but go ahead. Let's hear from you.
So I'm a little worried about the trap game aspect of it. But also, I think it helps that this isn't going to be the first trap game for LSU. Because, I mean, Arkansas was a trap game.
It was a big trap game.
And I think you did a great job of leveling that storm and, just kind of doing just enough to get the win and get out of there. So, I mean, I think you're going to see something similar to that. But then again, Jaden Daniels and Harold Perkins won't be dealing with the flu. Or at least you hope not. So, I think it's a different game than what we saw in Fayetteville. but definitely the trap game mindset is there.
Yeah.
Am I worried that LSU slips up and loses to A&M? No.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, if Jaden Daniels was fighting off the flu last week, he fought it off pretty well with 408 yards. Now, he looks like he had the flu the week before, and maybe that's just, you're trying to make sense of this LSU team and how this offense has turned the corner, and it looked like this is an offense that truly has turned the corner, except for Arkansas. Maybe that's that one missing piece of that puzzle of, yes, they have turned the corner. Oh, well, your starting quarterback had the flu.
Right.
You know what I mean? Here's a live reaction. Number 1, potato salad. Number 2, mac and cheese baked. Number 3, pecan pie. Ooh, pecan pie.
My wife loves baked mac and cheese. I'm going to admit something. I grew up in Southwest Louisiana. I had never eaten baked mac and cheese until I started dating her.
Interesting. Now, my wife will make it, and she does it with cream cheese. It's really good.
I'd never had baked mac and cheese.
I don't know, man. Pecan pie has to sneak in my top 5. Cornbread dressing, no argument for me. Sweet potato pie. All right, I think that's a solid one right there. But I'll say this: potato salad should get some points deducted because that's a 12-month meal, right? Right. All right. So we're gonna get into more LSU, A&M, and I'm interested. I want to talk to Matt here about a little Napier talk. I want to get with focus brain. You see that red shirt under there? You know, some Napier. So of course
you're gonna poke the bear with this one, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm gonna poke the bear. That's what I'm here for. I look on my show this year. I'm not saying this is you. But I have gone into enemy territory and I have pulled everybody who has pissed off LSU fans this year and brought them on my show to talk. So it's kind of my thing. I'm a bit of a bear poker. I'm not going to say I'm trying to debate these people, but I'm just going to ask the tough questions. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, let's hear from where y'all all need to get your Thanksgiving food from, Tramonte's, and then I'm going to introduce a new sponsor to y'all.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
And thank you, Tramonte's. Remember, guys, if y'all do go out and get your turkey or your Thanksgiving food, mention TigerBait, and you're going to get that $25 gift card for the next time you come in. So might as well. I mean, you're probably going to spend $200 on Thanksgiving. I've never spent less than $200 on Thanksgiving. So if you do go there, mention TigerBait. Let them know you're supporting the show. This show needs our sponsors to continue doing what we do. And as we continue to do what we do, we try to grow our sponsors. That's why I'm very excited to introduce Alumni Hall as a sponsor of the show. They're going to be sponsoring my show and Mike's show, so you're going to see from them tomorrow night. And let me tell you guys, I know exactly where I'm going to knock out all my holiday shopping. It's Alumni Hall. It's a no-brainer. All my friends and family are LSU fans, hardcore LSU fans. I'm a third-generation LSU alumni. My son is technically 3-0 as a Tiger. So y'all know this is where I'm going this holiday season. And honestly, it's one of the coolest places around. Like, tons of cool gear. They have all the best apparel for the family, hats, drinkware, wall art, you name it. They got the cornhole. I mean, tons of just really cool, interesting stuff. I definitely recommend going in-store. But they also have online if you're still looking to pick up that merch. But I just think it's really cool to go in their store and actually see the stuff. They've also got all your SEC championship matchup t-shirts in. So go check that out for a game that'll be something to remember, no doubt. LSU students, faculty member, and military all receive 10% off in store. You can earn cash back on their Hall Pass rewards. So go check them out. They're in Perkins Row. Shop anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, the ultimate LSU Tiger shopping experience. All right, now back to Matt. So Matt, a lot of people wanted Billy Napier to take the LSU job. I thought it was funny. So my father-in-law did Lafayette radio for 16 years, kind of like what you got going on here.
Okay.
And all the ULL people, it seemed like they wanted Napier to go to LSU.
Wait.
Quick question. Wait. I'm going to stop you right there. How many L's are in ULL?
One too many.
Oh, really? It sounds a lot like 6 to me.
Okay. Keep it up. There he goes. There he goes. Preston Guy, ladies and gentlemen.
I got to poke the bear a little bit. But yeah.
No, it's fine. I get it. But no, from an athletic standpoint, 1L, University of Louisiana, LSU A&M CC of Baton Rouge. But no, so in all seriousness, it was really funny whenever, Billy Napier's name started getting thrown around for high profile jobs. And, you looked at it and Florida was in the mix. Auburn had been in the mix for really 2 years at that point. And then, some people were saying, oh, Ed Ogeron's going to get fired at LSU. Why wouldn't he just go to Baton Rouge? And from an LSU standpoint, to me, I kind of liked the idea because he didn't have to go very far. He obviously recruited well in the state of Louisiana. He'd had SEC experience being an assistant coach under Nick Saban, things like that.
But my question is why were ULL fans? It seemed like they were really kind of wanting him to get that LSU job. Is it because they would rather see him stay in Louisiana than go to Florida or Auburn?
You see, I don't know because the people that I talked to didn't want him to go to LSU. It was anything but LSU.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
So it was strange, but there were people that wanted him to stay close. But I knew for a long time that the Florida was probably going to be the best fit for him.
Well, and I agree that Florida was a good fit for him. Are you a little surprised that Napier's not having the early success that maybe we thought he would?
I'm not surprised because there's going to be a learning curve jumping up from the Sun Belt to the SEC. So I figured it would take him a year or two. That's what I always when this was going down, I was getting interviewed I was doing conversations with different Florida podcasts and whatever, and every time I would do it, I would say, look, Florida's gonna have to be patient with Billy. But if you give him time and you give him the resources that he needs, he's going to turn you back into a winner.
Yeah.
And I still believe that Billy Napier is going to do that. Again, it's just how patient is Florida's administration willing to be with him.
Right. And, I think that this season, let's be honest, what LSU's accomplishing season 1 under Brian Kelly is unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Like these expectations to expect LSU to have done what they are doing, it's just silly. LSU shouldn't be where it is, but that's what Brian Kelly has done. Give him all the credit in the world. I expect Billy Napier will turn it around, but expectations are pretty darn high there at Florida. We'll see. By the way, if y'all are watching, we're power rank your top 5 Thanksgiving sides or throw some out for it. Me and Matt will judge your tastes in Thanksgiving food here.
Every opinion is accepted, even incorrect ones.
Well, like this one, Dane Bergeron, a loyal follower of the show and hater of Glenn Gilbo. Oyster dressing. Gross. And look, he's got me on double secret probation.
Double secret probation. Oh, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the oyster dressing, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, here's a comment.
Have it, but if it's there, I'll eat a little bit of it. Kind of thing.
I'm not big on it. All right, here's a good comment from DJ Pizza. Strength of schedule: LSU 15, USC 58. Which I'm actually surprised LSU's is that low personally. USC's looks about right. Right. Do you think the playoff committee got it right, or is this just SEC bias?
So I think the committee got it right, but you can't deny that there's some SEC bias there.
I can.
You can deny that there's SEC. You don't think that there's SEC bias?
Easily, man. I mean, here's the deal. This playoff committee from day one, it's been pretty consistent. They value what you've done versus your shortcomings more. LSU's got 2 quality losses, right? Which I'm not saying those beef your resume up. I'm just saying they don't. They aren't big, ugly draggers. Right. They're not dragging you down. You know, I feel like if a team were 9-3, but you lose to 1, 2, and 3 in the country, does that mean you're actually not a bad team? No. I mean, and LSU lost to number 16 and they lost to number 8. I'm sorry, number 10. Yeah, that's what Tennessee came in, right? But they beat number 8. And quite frankly, their win over Alabama, along with Tennessee's win over Alabama, is the most impressive in the country. I'm just not blown away at what USC has actually done this year. I mean, we're talking, you know, what's their most impressive win after UCLA? I mean, are we talking
Oregon State?
Yeah, Oregon State 17-14.
Yep.
I mean, it's just not a very good resume. And yes, they have 1 loss. But guess what? That 1 loss is also uglier than both of LSU's losses.
That's true.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, now I do expect USC will pass up LSU next week if they beat Notre Dame.
Correct.
Because then you're getting more style points. And the way the committee's going to look at it is LSU's 2-2 against top 25 teams. And I think Utah's not in it right now, right? They dropped out, right?
Yeah, they're
out. Okay.
They're out of it.
So they're going to look at USC's 2-0 and LSU will be 2-2 at the top 25. And I think that will put USC over the top, but it's not going to matter. Cause if LSU takes care of business over Georgia, they're leaping our buddy, you know?
So let me ask you this. USC loses to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
TCU loses.
Oh, dude, stop. Do not ask about Alabama. You are chaos tonight.
No, I'm not. Hold on. TCU loses.
Okay.
LSU beats A&M. Alabama beats Auburn, which, God, if they lose to Auburn. Wow.
That's chaos. My God.
Is LSU 4 and Bama 5?
No, if Bama loses, no. They're going to drop.
If Bama loses, no, they wouldn't. But if they win.
Okay, so TCU loses. Who else loses? USC loses. Okay. And who wins Ohio State, Michigan?
Ohio State.
Okay, so then you got Georgia 1, Ohio State 2. You're going to have TCU 3, assuming that in this Miguez chaos world, they didn't lose 2. And then you're going to be LSU's in.
LSU
and then
4, and then
5 would be Michigan.
5 would be Michigan.
Yeah.
6 would be Bama.
Would it be 6 Bama? If they beat Auburn, yeah.
Yeah.
If they beat Auburn, yeah. Which would be, that would probably make some LSU fans happy. By the way, Brian Lazar, we were in the press box together this weekend. He's our other staff writer at TigerBait. He painted a scenario where Bama actually gets in the playoff, and I thought that's where you were going. And I was like, guy, hold up now. This is the wrong show to paint that kind of chaos.
I mean, it's crazy to think that's, granted, a lot would have to happen, but it's crazy to think that that's still in play.
Yeah, it's absolutely bonkers that
Bama's not out of the playoffs,
and especially for a non-conference champion. Now, I personally think that even if this chaos, it would have to be some utter sheer craziness. Like Clemson would have to lose somewhere in the ACC because Clemson's going to jump them. Oregon would have to lose somewhere along the way because I think Oregon will jump them. And then you've still got Tennessee would have to lose to Vanderbilt this weekend, I think, because ultimately, I mean, if they're both sitting there with 2 losses, Tennessee's got the head-to-head.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe that loss to South Carolina is so ugly it would hold them back, but and then you got to think about, Penn State's there. There's just a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot that would have to happen, but
it would have to be 2007.
My boss looked at me today and said, "What would you do if Alabama snuck into the playoff?" Like, I would boycott the playoff for the rest of my life. It's horrible.
Yeah, I think even if the world melted down, I still think
that would
somehow
be SEC bias.
Yeah, no, that would be SEC bias at that point. Which I'm not saying Bama doesn't deserve a New Year's 6 bowl game or anything. And if the playoff were expanded, they deserve to be in. But no.
Right.
All right, we did some football. Let's do some food. Oh my God. Oyster dressing again. What the heck, people? All right. Cornbread dressing, a bounce back.
Okay.
Pumpkin pie. That's a good one, but I don't know if pumpkin pie makes my top 10. Pecan pie. You got pumpkin pie ahead of pecan pie. You're just wrong. That's not a valid opinion. Okay. Like no opinion can be wrong except for that one.
You want a hot take here? Both pumpkin pie and pecan pie can go so far out. It's not even funny.
So far out?
Yeah.
Like they're not on your. They're
neither
bad.
one of them are in my top 10.
Dude, oh man, that's terrible. All right. Eggnog. Now look,
That's
eggnog. I'm an eggnog guy, man. No doubt. And look, you spike a little eggnog. You know what I'm saying? Real good stuff, man. But it loses points because it's more of a Christmas drink. If we're just being honest, like you can't put candy cane on this list. You know what I mean? Like sure, you can eat it at Thanksgiving table. All right, we got James Wade with the super chat here. USC just beat its first ranked opponent. They're literally the West Coast version of Oklahoma. If they make the playoffs, they'll get smashed.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, man. Unless they were like, I'll say this. I think USC is better than TCU. I have doubts about TCU, but yeah, if they line up against Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, yeah, I think they get crushed. Absolutely. It's a very good comparison. And funny, they stole Oklahoma's coach. All right. Let's see here.
Right.
Hal Jubin says they won't get any closer than 5. I tend to agree. I feel like that's like a hard ceiling for them. Like the world has decided it is not a playoff year for Bama. They'll fluff them up to 5 because people think
you would certainly think so, right?
Right. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I think if LSU makes the playoff, they're going to be number 4 no matter what. Because, you know, they don't want to upset teams with less losses and seed them differently. It's like once you're in, okay, good, but they want you to get to a certain point based on your resume.
So you don't think say you wouldn't put LSU at 3?
I think what will happen if LSU beats Georgia, they're stuck at number 4. That's that. I think LSU will be number 4 no matter what. Because they just wouldn't want a team with less losses. They'll, you know, and once you're in, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think it just gets less scrutinous. Not to mention, I do think if LSU gets in, there's going to be some wanting to avoid them playing Georgia for, you know, a back-to-back rematch. Right. So one of them will be either 2 or 3, and one of them will be 4.
So let's paint this picture. LSU loses to Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Okay.
TCU loses. Michigan gets crushed by Ohio State.
Like 59 to nothing.
Like destroyed.
Yeah.
Does LSU have the resume to be a 3-loss team in the playoff?
No.
No?
They will. I promise you, Bama would get in first at that point. No. LSU will not get in at 3 losses. But let me talk about this scenario about what. And let's be honest, it's the most likely scenario. I think if LSU plays great and Georgia plays poorly, LSU will win. LSU can beat Georgia. I like LSU's matchup. I'm not going to go too in depth on it right now, but it's still more likely that Georgia will beat LSU. Either, you know, if they play 10 times, 7 or 8 times, Georgia's going to win.
For sure.
If LSU loses to Georgia, they're going to hold on to like a top 10-ish spot. I mean, I see Kansas State at 8-3. I tend to believe LSU would get a cushier landing than that, somewhere like, you know, 9-10, something like that, based on whatever chaos also ensues. LSU's going to probably be going to the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl, and they're going to go to a New Year's Six Bowl, and if they can look good in that bowl game, you're going to get the one more year chance. If they win for Jaden Daniels, they're going to be pushing for him to come back. We'll see on him. I'm feeling more likely with every day. If he comes back, well, look. I said I'm feeling more likely every day. I'm still leaning toward he goes.
Right.
But every single day I inch closer toward I could see why he would want to stay. But you're going to get that chant, and let's say he does come back. LSU's going to be a top 5 team next year in the preseason poll. There's going to be a lot of hype and excitement around this program.
Yeah. Top 5 might be a little stretch for me.
Even if Jaden Daniels comes back,
I can see them being top 10.
I mean, they're number 5 right now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. The AP poll is just so tricky, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Jaden Daniels comes back and you still got Josh Williams, you still got Harold Perkins, I imagine that Kayshawn Booty's going pro after this season. Yeah, I mean, it really just depends on what you return besides Jaden Daniels. But I don't necessarily disagree with you. I could see them being a top 5 team, but to me, top 10 just seems a little more likely.
I think top 10 would be easy. I think they're top 10 if Jaden Daniels leaves even. I think they're still going to be in top 10 because, LSU's got Walker Howard sitting there. Yep. So I think top 10 is just a little too conservative. But, I mean, regardless, great direction. Brian Kelly said something very enlightening in his press conference today. He said, we're building something within our program. This UAB game might have not been a big game outside of these walls, but inside these walls, it was a big thing because it was about how we're building our program. It's about how we perform on, non-exciting weeks. And it was a big deal for the program to go out there and win like you should, especially after a sluggish performance. And I think that kind of stuff is why Brian Kelly went 90-17 against unranked opponents at Notre Dame, because it's real just businessman-like. All right, I got to go and thank a couple more sponsors. Matt, did you want to hang around for final segment here, or
good.
Talk some more Thanksgiving food and all that good stuff? Okay, I'm gonna run a couple commercials. If you're bored during the spots, guys, give me your top 5 Thanksgiving foods. We'll continue breaking them down. All right. So first off, we're gonna thank Tramonte's. If you're going out to get your turducken, your turkey, your Thanksgiving side, y'all know where to go. Right at the corner of Jefferson and Airline. Go check them out. Tramonte's. It's the reason we have a show. Y'all go check them out. Mention TigerBait.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
And guys, after you go to Alumni Hall, the best place to get your best socks, stuff your stockings with the stockings we all love. Y'all all know about DeadSoxy, and the code TigerBait gets you 25% off, but this week it's going to get you a little something more. You're going to get buy one, get one free. If you want to grab some free team color socks, y'all can see all the new designs. They're pumping them out here. They're all here below for LSU. If you want some free team color socks for yourself, check out some holiday gifts off your list this week. This week at DeadSoxy, they're doing buy one, get one free sale on sock bundles. Okay, what does that mean? That means if you buy an 8-pair bundle of any of their premium dress socks, casual socks, or no-show socks, any socks on their site, you get a second 8-pair bundle for free. So that means you can treat yourself and probably a few family members, if we're being honest, or if you got one really good family member who do, like an 8-socker family member. We'll rate our family members here. If you got an 8-socker, there you go. You got a 2-socker, you can do 4 2-sockers with them. So since you only get one buy one, get one per purchase, you can kind of game the system by completing separate transactions for each buy one, get one bundle. So if you wanted to do it more, just complete the checkout, do it again, enter your TigerBait code again. So if you got a whole family fans, game the system with multiple transactions. By the way, I'm not just telling you to game the system. They're like, yeah, you can cheat us. This is what they gave me, their script, y'all. So just use the code TigerBait at checkout, and you'll get yourself a free bundle of your new favorite socks. As always, stay socksy. All right, thank you, DeadSoxy, for making this possible. Chance Babin telling us not to forget Clemson. Look, Clemson's for the chaos. He's for the Miguez chaos we're talking about because Clemson's sitting there with one loss.
Yeah. Clemson is interesting because you look at some of the games that they've played. They nearly lost to Wake Forest, who has fallen off quite a bit. They nearly lost to NC State. They got beat by Notre Dame. Granted, that Notre Dame loss is looking better and better as the weeks go by. If TCU loses and the Ohio State-Michigan game goes awry, I could see a world where Clemson sneaks in at 4.
Yeah, and it would have to be utter and sheer, like 07 level chaos for Clemson to get in. And I think even a little bit more for Bama. So people like Eric DeLeon, who's upset about the Bama talk. No. I'm kind of doing my job here, like my due diligence of this is what would happen if that would happen. For the record, I do not see anything that's remotely possible that Bama gets in. I think the forces that be will fight against that. Right. Now, guys, I'm gonna make sure to mix in. We're gonna talk football in between each one of these, but here we go. More Thanksgiving stuff. Stuffed Merleton, then corn. I don't know. Do you know what that is? Is that some Cajun thing I never heard of?
So it's basically like a bell pepper kind of thing it's basically like a stuffed bell pepper of sorts.
Yeah. Well, cornbread dressing. And look, I'm really glad cornbread dressing is in everybody's list, right? Absolutely. Sweet potato casserole. I don't have anything against it. It's just too mushy to me. Like, it's okay. I can do a spoonful of it. It's just, marshmallow, then sweet potato, blah. Dirty rice. That's solid. Again, loses points because it's a 12-month meal. Baked mac and cheese. Solid 12-month meal.
Why do we call it dirty rice?
I mean, well, I bet that's not a Louisiana thing because here's the deal. We have jambalaya, which is dirtier than dirty rice. Right. So whoever named it clearly wasn't from Louisiana. Clearly wasn't from Mexico because it's not as dirty as Mexican rice either because there's just like orange.
Right. Like I've always called it rice dressing.
That's got to be a Yankee thing, right?
Right. The dirty rice. That's damn Yankees.
Preston is from north of I-10. I am not, sir. I'm on the south side of Baton Rouge. All right, let's see here. Bama deserves nothing.
Amen.
Bama had chances to take care of business this year. They didn't. So yeah, they deserve a New Year's Six bowl. They're going to win their 10 games, or if they don't choke to Auburn, whatever. Ooh. Ham over turkey, said what I said.
Damn
Good
right.
ham. Good ham over turkey.
All ham.
All ham? All of it?
All ham.
Dog,
the only way I'm picking turkey over ham is if the turkey is like Cajun fried.
Okay, but like this is South Louisiana, my guy. It's all like Cajun fried if we're just being honest.
You say that. You say that. I have yet to have a family member deep fry a turkey.
Okay.
For the holidays.
Okay, I'll say this. As long as the turkey is out of some coon-ass's backyard and he can tell you a 30-minute story about how his deep fryer doesn't. He bought an $800 deep fryer for just one turkey a year.
One day a year.
It'll be fine. I promise you, it's fine. Just make sure you're going to the coon-ass's house. Don't go to your northern relatives and expect good turkey. That's dumb. That's just not thinking well.
No,
Hal Jubin agrees with me. There's just no way Bama gets it. I don't want to say no matter what, because 07 is a thing, y'all, but yeah.
Well, you see, 07, and I agree, 07 was utter chaos, but that was a different time. That was computerized. Now you bring in the human element, and I mean, if this committee just likes something that Bama's doing, and TCU loses and USC loses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
There's clearly a nepotism factor here.
I also think that I almost feel like there's biases against Bama. Like a lot of people, unless you are a Bama fan, you are sick of seeing Bama, right?
Of course.
So I think that this is the year where people have accepted Bama won't be in the playoff, and they're just kind of like, whew, yes, finally. Give us, every once in a while. Bruce Major says Georgia goes to, I assume he's meaning like Georgia will be in rank number 2 if they lose. It kind of caught me off guard because a week ago, I didn't think Georgia would be in if they lost because Tennessee's sitting there, right? But now that Tennessee's lost, it's like, really, Georgia's got an insurance policy against Georgia Tech and LSU, if you think about it.
Yeah, they really do. So it's, it's crazy to think about it because you look back to about 4 weeks ago when, Tennessee was still having their big year and LSU was making a run. We were talking about the possibility of, could there be 3 SEC teams in the playoff?
Which that would just light the world on fire.
Right. But like it was a legit possibility.
It was. And in
now,
fact, looking at their resumes, if they weren't all SEC in that scenario,
right,
it would have been a no-brainer to put them all 3 in. But the fact that it is 3 SEC, that was the scenario where you're like, ooh, I mean, non-SEC folk are people too, right?
Right.
I mean,
I
not
guess.
really, but you know what I mean.
It just means more, right?
Just means more teams in the playoff. Yeah, 3. LSU beats Georgia. They're no lower than 3. I agree. I think Georgia would probably be Georgia would probably be 3. LSU would be 4. That's what I would think. Just if nothing else to avoid the rematch. But anyways, all right. Andouille gumbo, baked cheese. Oh my God, what am I baked cheese spaghetti? I'm moving on.
I mean, that's basically baked macaroni. They just use spaghetti noodles instead of macaroni noodles.
Okay, so it's like pastalaya only with. Okay, all right. Well, that seems like it's a sin. Like God shouldn't ordain that. But
I don't understand the gumbo on holidays.
Oh, it's cold and it's good. It's good, but it's a 12-month meal if we're being honest. Now,
right? Like I don't want gumbo on Thanksgiving when I can eat it on a Sunday in January.
Yeah, it's a 12-month meal that has like a 4 or 5 month hot season where it's like it's really good. Pecan and pumpkin pie, guys, stop putting pecan and pumpkin on the same pedestal. This is it's just not. Dirty rice. Ooh,
knock them both to the ground.
Venison dirty rice. By the way, if y'all are venison fans, Tramonte's just do wild game cleaning. Let's see here. Alicia Buck, how could they rank Georgia ahead of LSU? Now, let me answer why I think they would. I'm not saying I would. This is not from Preston Guy. Okay, but yes, they lost the head-to-head to LSU, but they also have one less loss. And transitive property, they beat the snot out of Tennessee when they were good with Hendon Hooker still. And that team
Tennessee beat the snot out of LSU.
Right, exactly. So, and having the one less loss, and Oregon, which looks like a better win every single day. I don't. And I think also the playoff committee would they're bold enough to get LSU in. I'm not sure that they're bold enough to once they're in, leapfrog the one lossers. You know what I mean?
We're sitting here talking about, if LSU beats Georgia, they're in the playoff. Are they?
Georgia?
No, LSU.
I think LSU is.
You and I think they're in, but the committee might sit there and go, we've never put a 2-loss team in.
And look, that is part of this that is nerve-wracking is, yes, I think they're in. I don't think there's any way they decide not to, but it is subjective and it is in human hands.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a possibility where the committee could agree, they had a great year, but they didn't do quite enough to be one of the 4. And
I'm going to tell you this, Greg Sankey will get on his highest pedestal. he does not want to set a precedent of an SEC champion not being in the SEC championship. And then, okay, let's say it did come down to that scenario of, they see LSU with 2 losses. Are you really like, okay, I get it. If both LSU and Georgia are in, putting Georgia above LSU, I get it. But the fact of the matter is people rank things differently when in or not is on the line. Would you really put Georgia in above LSU for it all? Understand, in or out after LSU beats Georgia. Again, guys, I think they rank things differently for that in or out spot. I think that 4 and 5 spot, those get rated differently than 1 through 3, or really 1, 1 through 3. And quite frankly, 7 and below. That's just completely 2 different ways they rank them, because there's something on the line, and you have to put the team in that truly has earned it, rather than, well, this team looked flashy and had this and that. I believe with the bottom of my heart, they do it different.
Yep.
Josh Forbes, what if LSU pulls a USA Soccer and ties to Georgia?
Oh God, that hurts so bad.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Looks like people want to bring some chaos our way. If LSU beats Georgia and TCU wins, okay, so LSU beat Georgia, TCU wins, so undefeated TCU. It'll be Ohio State, assuming they beat Michigan, TCU, LSU, Georgia. So are you saying in that order, LSU?
I wouldn't put
Ohio
LSU ahead of Georgia.
Well,
LSU
if Georgia has a loss, though, no doubt. No doubt. It'd be Ohio State, TCU. That 1 and 2 is non-debatable in this scenario.
I'd put LSU at 4, Georgia at 3.
Yeah, and honestly, does that matter? I mean, yeah,
No.
you got to play Ohio State, but it's not like a 12-team playoff where, I mean, you got to play the big dogs no matter. Eventually, you're going to have to go through them if they're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, LSU's got a good history against Ohio State. I'll take that challenge any day.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Ohio State's probably the one with the worst matchup, but like I said, it's a 14 playoff. You can't just hide and hope someone knocks off Ohio State.
Right.
And guys, I guess part of this is I don't really care. Like, I don't, as long as LSU's in, I think LSU will be in over Georgia if LSU wins. Whether they rank them higher once they're in, A, doesn't matter. B, I have different gut feelings about what their opinions would be. Let's see here. And look, Chance Babin's saying he's agreeing with me earlier. If LSU loses to Georgia, wins that bowl game, we're talking top 5 with the top 5 recruiting class. Which, by the way, LSU's recruiting classes on fire. For 2024, LSU actually has the number 1 class in the country now. So they're doing right. Hey, look, check this out. James Miguez, buy me some socks. Is he on your naughty or nice list? Has he been a good producer?
He's the best producer, but he's on my naughty list.
He probably deserves it.
He does.
All right, let's see here. I think Georgia's in with 1 loss. Yeah, I agree. For the record, I agree. I'm just talking about if it were to come to a scenario where you had to pick LSU or Georgia. Yeah. I can't imagine that they would pick the team that just lost in a championship game to go over to the team.
So let me ask you this. In what world would you have to pick one of them? Because I don't see a world where you'd have to pick one of them.
I don't.
I think they're both in. Because if Georgia's 1 loss on the season is a close game in the SEC title game, there's no way you bring them from 1st to 5th.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I mean, trying to think here. Yeah, because I mean, Georgia's going to have higher stock than.
Because I mean, somebody's going to lose out of Ohio State and Michigan, so the loser of that game is probably going to fall out.
I mean, we were joking about on your show that does Georgia rest their starters? Because I mean, obviously they won't, but it's kind of a funny situation because, like in the NFL, they've got.
Would they be in regardless? Probably so.
Right. They've got their, their playoff spot locked. They're going to be like the Philadelphia Eagles when they come to the Saints, and they're going to have, they're going to have their playoff spot locked in, except for the Philadelphia Eagles are still going to come and smack our Saints down because they have our draft pick. Saints are frustrating.
Fired up about the Saints,
guys. I'm mad. I'm furious because it's like at least you have you got a crappy season, but at least you got a good draft pick. At least you could go draft Hendon Hooker. Or maybe you can draft him now because he tore his ACL.
I was about to say you might be able to draft him now, but no. I mean, you got Olave. I understand. People are mad about trading the first round pick away, and to an extent, I am too. But you got 2 first-round picks this year, so technically, the way I like to look at it is you just got this year's first-round pick a year early. Granted, he hasn't played yet in Trevor Penning, but
yeah,
that's the way I try to look at it, at least.
I'm still depressed. I'm not happier.
Well, I think we're all going to be depressed.
What's Sean Payton doing? All right, anyways, we got more important things. Turducken seafood
cornbread dressing. Yes, sir.
Big Honus Kelly.
I like
with
Big
the South
Honus.
Park. Oh my God.
Absolutely. Oh man.
Sweet potato casserole. Okay, we talked about it. It's not enough crunch. Too soft.
I'm not a sweet potato fan.
Green bean casserole. That's your goat. Mm-hmm. All right, cheesecake again. Nothing against cheesecake, but it is a 12-month food item. We're talking about Thanksgiving foods here. Josh Forbes says Bama sucks. Marshmallow equals amateur hour.
I got a text from James Mesh. He said, "Let's go." Made it on the show.
He's a big deal now. Maybe I'll bring in the Mesh of the Mesh and Miguez soon enough. Let's see here. Rice dressing. Oh, Dade. Oh, man.
Chicken gizzards and livers.
Oh, man.
No.
Elisa says Bama deserves nothing. They deserve Texas A&M style humiliation. By the way, Texas A&M LSU, do you think it's going to be a close game?
I don't know. That's hard because it's at college. It's in College Station.
Right.
It's always typically a pretty close matchup, and we poke fun at Texas A&M just because it's fun to, but they are a talented team.
There's lots of talent. Like I said, number 2 quarterback. I mean, Connor Wegman, solid talent on him.
They're a talented group. They could put a couple drives together and keep the game close. So
look, this guy A-Shane.
If close is 14 or less, yeah, I could see it being.
Well, the spread is 10. Do you think LSU covers?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna say yes. They might cover it at like 12.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I could see them cover.
So 12 though. Let's look at 12. Let's say 36-24. Is that? I mean, right? That's not disappointing,
42,
right?
42-30.
Nah, I don't think A&M puts up 30. Their offense is putrid. I mean, no doubt about it. But I could see. So A-Shane, the running back, he looks like A-Train from The Boys when I watch him. Dude's he's a little bottle rocket. By the way, if you haven't watched The Boys, you're missing out. Good show. But I could see them dialing up. Pull all the tricks out of the bag because it's all there anyways. But I just think as long as Jimbo's calling plays, it's like a 2022 Les Miles at this point.
What Jimbo's about to be calling for is a Mahi in Boca Raton with his $86.5 million.
Yeah. It's like Jimbo kept that 2014 offense and hasn't.
Cool.
I wanted to bring on an A&M guy tonight, but they were all every A&M guy I talked to kind of chickened out on me. Does A&M actually have $86 million for a buyout? Yeah. Are they willing to actually dice up that money?
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's enough money to at least wait 1 year, right?
Do they want to? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, all that oil field money that you got right there, and
yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, they could put $86 million together.
I think that Jimbo will be on the hot seat next year. I think he will get retained.
A friend of mine, he works for Saturday Down South. His name's Connor O'Gara. Connor, when Jimbo started going downhill earlier this year, I'd heard Connor say that if anybody could put together $86.5 million,
oh yeah, no doubt,
Texas A&M.
no doubt, it's them, no doubt. I know they can. It's just like, would you though? Like,
right?
Has he been $90 million back
another year?
Yeah,
and just call it a day.
Turkey sandwich with gravy and and cranberry sauce. Oh, it's from a restaurant, Parkview Tavern. I don't know where Parkview Tavern is, but
you lost me at cranberry sauce.
So gravy, sure. Even cranberry sauce, sure. Both.
Yeah, you lost me at cranberry sauce. Yeah. Don't you bring that to my Thanksgiving meal.
Hey, look, American Patriots on your tide here, man. I'm
going to show. If you show up, I told James this yesterday. I would rather you bring the napkins than bring like if you show up to my door with cranberry sauce, I'm not letting you in the house. Absolutely.
You guys are not from Louisiana unless you're from Shreveport.
Nope.
Why would he name a city in southern Arkansas?
I've got family from up there, but I'm not from there.
Yeah, I've got family from southern Arkansas and Shreveport too. But I mean, no, the real Louisiana south of that, we'll call it.
It's south of I-10.
I'll give Alexandria credit. South.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's Alexandria
fair, right?
down.
That's where the real good. So I saw a meme the other day. It's like, hey, I'm visiting Shreveport. Where do I get some good Cajun food? Oh yeah, once you get there, just go 200 miles south.
Right.
Look around.
Follow I-49 for anything south of Alexandria,
and you'll be all right once you get there. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Oh, look, here's your guy again. Do you use whatever you have on your plates as ingredients for a sandwich with your rolls? So like kind of after I've cleared the plate and like the stuff that's not good enough for its individual fork full. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Make a little, roll sandwich. Yeah, sure. Of course.
Like one little sliver of turkey and some green bean casserole, just like throw it all together in a roll. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to end the show here in about 10 minutes. I have one final shout out I have to get to, and we're going to close out with your comments here. I'm going to thank our sponsor, Celebrity Theaters, for making this show possible. They got 3 locations in Baton Rouge, Broussard, and Ruston in southern Arkansas. Make sure to go check them out. Remember, guys, they do host watch parties at the Baton Rouge location, including this LSU game day combo with nachos and a medium drink. So if you don't feel like going to culty Texas A&M and you just want to watch the game in an awesome luxury theater with those reclining seats, guys, I don't go to a movie theater unless there's reclining seats. It's 2022. Get with the game. Go to Celebrity Theaters, locally owned, quality prices, quality service, clean facility, and great high-quality Dolby Atmos sound theaters available, including for the watch party. So y'all go check out Celebrity Theaters, my favorite theater. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, I like the hypotheticals. Let me tell you something real quick. The fact that Brian Kelly inherited the roster he inherited with 39 scholarship players, and it is now November 22nd, and we're like talking about playoff scenarios left and right like this, that's incredible. That's unrealistically good. So if Georgia loses to Georgia Tech this weekend and LSU and lost to LSU, my guy, this is the most chaotic one yet.
Lost to LSU.
If they lose to Georgia Tech and LSU, yeah, they're out.
They're out.
They're out.
God, they're out.
Yeah,
hell, they might be out with a loss to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, maybe.
That alone might be enough to kick them out.
I don't know.
That would be brutal.
Ooh, yeah. Do not lose to Georgia Tech. I don't think losing to I think they would bounce back with a win at LSU, because ultimately you are talking about a 1-loss SEC champion versus a 1-loss Pac-12 champion, a 1-loss non-Big Ten champion. Like they'll still be in.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you're looking at 1 loss, we can agree that they'll they'll still be in with just one loss.
Alyssa Bruck says, if we're 5 now, you can't deny them with a win over Yuga. I tend to agree. Like I said, I think LSU will be in, and it will be no doubt. But that's that's why we're here talking. I will say this next week, guys. I do expect that USC will jump LSU in the polls if they handle business against Notre Dame, because they'll have back-to-back ranked wins, and LSU will be playing a 4-win team this weekend. That's the way the cookie crumbles, But it's not like it matters. Let's see here. We usually do a fried backstrap rice dressing, honey baked ham. Remember, I was telling you the ham matters. Honey baked ham, cornbread dressing, pecan pie, and our ooey gooey. I don't know what an ooey gooey is, but it sounds good. There's other things, but these are your main courses. I'm down. That's a quality Thanksgiving dinner.
I was about to say, just shoot me the address and I'll be there Thursday morning.
That's not that's not when you're making your stops at Thanksgiving dinners. That's not one of the ones you pop in 45 minutes, you say hi to Pawpaw, and then you get going.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because on Thanksgiving, when you got to make the circuit, you got to pick and choose which food you're consuming, and you don't.
Oh, for sure.
You don't eat heavy at every house. That's an eat heavy house.
I've got 3 houses to stop at on Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to drive 30 minutes to one, 30 minutes to the next one, and then I've got to go 2 hours down to New Orleans to the final one.
That's what I'm saying. Decisions have to be made at that point. You have to make decisions. You can't fill up that many times. It's just
eat at the first house, take it to go plate for the 2-hour drive to New Orleans, and then you eat a third plate in New Orleans.
LSU's in the driver's seat. You can't ask for a better scenario, in my opinion. Given that
you control your own destiny, absolutely.
From the Tennessee loss, yes, you could not ask for a better situation. And like I said, I continue to believe if LSU beats Georgia, it's the best win in the country.
Yeah,
and LSU will have the second best win in the country over Alabama. Well, no, Ohio State would have beaten Michigan or vice versa. So 2 of the top 3 wins in the country. No doubt.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Let's see here. Mincemeat pie. What about bread pudding? Ooh.
With a good rum sauce?
Hold up. No. White chocolate bread pudding. Now you can do both. But I've always been a fan of the white chocolate bread pudding. I used to work at a restaurant called Snow's in Gonzales. Dog, when I say the best stuff, like any fight I got with my girlfriend, just come home with a white chocolate bread pudding, and it's good.
Worked every time.
Let's see here. The Denim Spring. Thank you for the super chat, James Wade. I appreciate your support every single week. The Denim Springs Benton game ending. Horrible. Did you see it?
Absolutely. That was atrocious.
That's the craziest crap I've ever seen. So for those of you who didn't, Denham Springs, okay, Benton has the ball. They're with 2 minutes to go, they're up by 1 point in their own territory. Right. They take the knee 4 times and they miscalculate the clock. Takes a knee on 4th down with 1 second left. Denham Springs gets the ball, the clock is stopped, they line up, they kick a field goal, they win the game.
Yeah, that's not great.
Unbelievable. But as a coach, how can you be that unaware of your clock situation?
Yeah. I
mean, at least punt.
Right. Just
if
line
not,
up 11 guys along the end zone.
If not, do the thing where your quarterback kind of runs backward and just takes a knee when the time.
Right.
Like, don't just take a knee at 1 second. Absolutely brutal. Look, I got to give him a shout out since he gave us 2 super chats. LOL, I'm from Ruston. Chill. Oh man, I love messing with my North Louisiana folk.
Oh man, Ruston's for real.
Yeah, they got a good team up there, man.
They're for real. I do. So since I work in sports radio, I also broadcast. I do some high school football, and I am on the radio team for Southside. High school here in Lafayette, and they've got Zachary on Friday night.
Now don't tell my father-in-law. He will get on you.
That's gonna be a doozy.
Don't tell my father-in-law. He'll get on you. He's all about them Acadiana wrecking Rams, man.
Hey, Acadiana had a good year until they, got beat out of the playoffs. But I mean, Look, they're young. They'll bounce back. Matt McCullough's doing good things over there.
Big Cojones Kelly. Every time I read his name, okay. Only good food. Now, hold up. He's right. I do owe credit. The Natchitoches meat pies are otherworldly good, man. Incredible. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate y'all for watching the show this week. I appreciate Matt for popping in. Matt, would you tell the people where to follow you and how to check out your show?
Absolutely, man. You can follow me at Miguez Matt on Twitter, or actually on most social medias, at Miguez Matt. And you can listen to our show on The Game. It's 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles. You can head to 1037thegame.com or 1041thegame.com. Download the mobile app. James and I are on every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
All right. Thank you, Matt Miguez, for joining us and going a little extra today.
Preston, appreciate you, man. Anytime.
All right. See you soon. That was Matt Miguez, who I've been doing his show a good bit. They got a good thing going on there in Lafayette. So y'all make sure to tune in to 1037 The Game or their online app. Guys, YouTube channel, we're up to 16,500 subscribers, y'all. Make sure to, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe, hit that bell button. Appreciate y'all. Mike and Buddy will be on tomorrow night. Actually, I think Buddy has a cold. I think it'll be just Mike tomorrow. So y'all pop in, check them out. I think LSU's going to take care of business, and it's going to be comfortable. I think LSU wins something like 38-17. I don't see A&M scoring a lot of points, and I think LSU's going to be clicking on all cylinders. So y'all tune in to LSU this weekend. Tune in to TigerBait tomorrow. We'll be back for the post-game show after the game. So y'all make sure to tune in for me and Mike there. Get subscribed, hit that bell, and y'all check out all the work we got going on at TigerBait.com. Tons of good recruiting updates as we go in, and LSU's looking to close in on a top 5 recruiting class. I appreciate all y'all for watching. Y'all have an excellent weekend and a happy Thanksgiving to everybody.